message. Norway, sorry to the Nordics.
Do they all look the same to you, Annie?
I can't remember which one. I'm so sorry. The Danes are over here and they're like, it's not us. And in many other peer countries, they'll just send you a form that's mostly filled out, and you can figure out if you want to do any changes, and then maybe you sign it, you send it back. It is like risible. You know when Europeans are like, wait, your healthcare system works how? You got billed for what? Like, you know, the whole, right, like you ask a European, like, oh, how much did you have to pay to get that baby? Like, pardon? Sort of similarly, I think if people understood that the IRS, I'm not saying they're not like a competent and professional agency at doing what they're doing. And in fact, I know a lot of civil servants at the IRS that are like chomping at the bit to be able to do people's taxes for them. They're not allowed to. They're not allowed to.
Here's the crazy thing about this, because I think it's worth like getting into the mechanism here. The IRS has all the information.
They do.
So the reason the IRS can come after you fill out your taxes and say you underpaid is because they know how much you're supposed to pay.
Yeah.
And given that they know how much you're supposed to pay, they could just tell you how much you're supposed to pay. And in other countries, they just tell you how much you're supposed to pay, and then you're like, okay, great, and then you pay it. We even had a pilot program of letting the IRS tell you how much you're supposed to pay in direct file, and Trump just killed it.
Yeah.
And people liked it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, direct file. It was great. There's two things here. So one is that the U.S. tax system is so complex. There are so many write-offs and kind of arcane, fussy little provisions that do require people to tell the IRS. But most people, that's like not true for. Most Americans take the standard deduction, which means that you're not itemizing things. 9 and 10 take the standard deduction. The second is that there's legal prohibitions on data sharing between U.S. government agencies. So HHS might have some information on you. They can't send it to the IRS very easily, for the most part. These systems don't talk to each other, and very often in other countries they do. And for a lot of Americans, the idea of having a government that has a unitary repository of all of this information and it's all connected is really terrifying. We have very little social trust, and I think correctly. Why would we? However, you can always give people the option. Make it a permission. I want the government to fill out my taxes for me. I want the government to search for benefit programs and then go get the data from the state tax office and the IRS. You know, just think about optionality. I think a lot of really low income people might be like, yeah, if I could just tick a box and have them do as much as they could, that would be great. And I think that letting databases talk to each other with permission is different than probably having it in a big database.
So I want to stop here, because one of the moments in the book where you said something that just like stopped me a little cold was you went to Estonia. I remember we went to Estonia. You didn't tell me much about that trip, so I read about it in your book. And you talk about Estonia's only once policy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this was so utopic that it was almost hard to read about it. What is the Estonia only once policy?
So Estonia creates a government de novo not that long ago, right?
Post-Soviet.
Yeah. They get their independence back, and it's all really young people that are, not that this is the most important thing, but I do think it's interesting in history. Often the people who are putting a government together in their like 20s and 30s, a lot of them are not actually retirement age now, and or just barely retirement age now. And they are extremely poor. They are financially distressed. They need foreign investment, and they need the support of institutions like the IMF. So they want to also, after the Soviet experience, they want to have a government that people kind of trust and believe in. And they end up putting together the most like technologically advanced